Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a very simple little hover effect for you today. We're using the Divi theme here. We're not using any external plugins. And we've got an image. When you hover over it, it's got a nice little slide in title and subtitle there. Really easy to do. There's no coding involved with this today. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable my Visual Builder. Okay, what we've got here, we've got a section, the blue tab. In that section we've got a row with 2 columns in it. Let's work on the second column. And the way this is working today, like a lot of hover effects that you can create, is we've got an image that's residing in our column here, and the actual content of the image is the module on top. So let's pop a module in here, and you can do this with just about any module. I'm going to use call to action. I'm not going to use the button. I'm just going to use the title and a bit of the text there. So you put in your title here. You can leave that as it is. A button won't show up unless you put a URL in. And I'll use a bit of this text just for a subtitle. Well, I'll put in subtitle. Whatever you want to write in there, obviously. So we've got that. If you did want to put the button in, just simply go in and give the button a link. It'll show up for you. There we go. But I'm not going to put a button in this today. Okay. So we've got our little bit of text that we want to appear over the top of our image there. Let's go and take this background away. That text will disappear into the white background, but that's okay. Okay, now let's find an image we actually want to put in there. So I'm going to go into the row, the green tab. We're working on column number 2, column 1, column 2. Don't forget we've got some text in there. Okay, let's go into number 2, and for the background we'll use the image that we want. So you've got color, gradient, image, or video if you want to put a video in there. I'm going to use an image, and we'll use a different image. Okay, and you can see your title and your image in there, but you want to add a bit of space to this so we can make it the height that you want to see the amount of image that you want. So let's go back into our little module here. But before we do that, because we're creating a hover effect where we're going to push this over here or push it over here, wherever you want to put yours, we want to change a few of the settings in the column so we don't see it when we've pushed it over. So let's go to our advanced. Going to go down to visibility and horizontal overflow and vertical overflow. We're going to put both of these to hidden. That way when our writing scoots out of our little box there, we won't see it anywhere. Okay, so let's go back into our little module right here, and we'll give it the amount of padding we want on the bottom to be able to actually see it. Let's move this over here so we can see a little bit better. So let's go to design, we'll go down to spacing, and here's padding. And on the bottom you want to give it the amount that'll make the image visible the way you want it. So I'm going to give it 300. That's fine. Now if you've got an image that's sort of light in color and you're going to lose your text, you can sort of put an overlay in there by going back to your content, to your background. I'll pop black in as an example. You can use any color you want. As you can see, everything's disappeared. But if you just want to use it to make your text stand out, click on the color and you can pull the opacity down to where you can see enough of the image, but your text is still legible because it's got that sort of dark overlay going on. But again, that's entirely up to you, and when we do the hover effect you can set this to not being there simply by going up to the background, little arrow up there. Desktop, when our image is not going to be on there, you can say I don't want that at all, and on the hover state you can add it back in. Now for this particular image I really don't need this hover overlay, but this is just an example for you if you do. So there, hovering we've got that, non-hovering we've got that. Okay, well I'm going to take this away because I don't need it for this image. That's just to show you what to do there. Okay, well let's make the magic happen. What we're going to do is go back down to our sizing, design tab and sizing. We're going to scoot this all the way over to the left, or you can scoot it right, top or bottom, it's entirely up to you, but I'm going to scoot mine to the left. I don't want to be in sizing, I want to be in spacing. Okay, and to do this we've got to scoot this over to the left. You can scoot it up, down, left, right, but I'm going to actually scoot it over to the left. So what we want to do, go up to margin, hit the little arrow, and regular state when the mouse is not on it, I want it to be minus, I think 800 will do it on this. Obviously depending on the size of yours you'll have to adjust it. So I'm going to take it down, I'm going to put in 800. As you can see, that's disappeared off to the side there. Now when we are hovering over it, I want it to be 0, so it's back in the middle. There we go, just like that. But because we've given it negative 800 over here, we need to counter it with a bit of padding so that when they put their mouse over it, they've actually got something to activate this with. So let's go into our padding below, again hit the little arrow. On desktop, when it's not there, I want to have 800 pixels so that when they put that arrow over the image, something will happen. And when they hover over it, I want it to be 0, because if we leave it at 800 it'll be all squished up, as you can see there. So if we put that to 0, there we go. So when they hover over it, that's what they're going to see. When they're not hovering over it, that's what they're going to see. So we're pretty good to go there. The only other thing is the time it takes to zoom in default wise is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. For this particular thing I don't mind that, that's going to work fine for me. But if you wanted to change the speed, slow it down or even speed it up, you could go to advanced, down to transitions, and there's the default 300 milliseconds. Simply type in the value you want if you want to change it. If you want to make it slower, put a higher value in. If you want to make it quicker, put a lower value in. Transition delay, don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as they put their mouse over it. Speed curve, the ease seems to work absolutely fine for this. A lot of my slower hover effects I use ease in, ease out. They're all subtly different and some will work better than others in certain situations, but I think we're good to go here. So let's save our changes. We'll save the page changes, exit the visual builder, and we should be good to go. There we go, there's our little title sliding in, 300 milliseconds. And if you've got a few little features and images you want to just add a little bit of text to, that's a great little thing to have. Like I say, you can do this with pretty much any module, add a call to action or whatever you want. So there you go guys, there's how to add a little slide in title and subtitle for your images. Really easy to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, ring the bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.